To lock in your favorite Wager Talk expert through the end of the calendar year, it would cost you close to $2,000, but you can get all sports for all of 2021 from the handicapper of your choice for only $9.99. This comes out to under $4 per day and includes any rare 5% best bets released over this time.
All right, let's do this thing. Welcome in. It is time for another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show, the Friday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show, as we've got a great card in the association tonight, but we got 4 games we singled out that we're going to break down for you here today, and those 4 games will include the Miami Heat, Atlanta Hawks. We're going to talk Boston Celtics, Nets. We're going to talk Denver taking on Golden State, and, of course, Portland, Memphis on tap here tonight. And we will do this with 3 of the absolute finest, and it is not my fault if a Swiss flag shows up here or there over the next 20 minutes or so. I can't help it, but we know who's here. And that's Ski Prophet in the house on location. Ski, good to see you. Let's talk about Stevie in the middle, Merrill in full effect. And there he is. It is Kevin Swiss Miss Dolan in the house here today, man. And it's always a pleasure to see you guys, the Friday crew here of the NBA Tip-Off Show. So, Ski, let me start with you, man. Interesting night last night in the association. How did you do, and what do you got for us tonight here at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, interesting night. I definitely lost my bet to Finn, but as a personal action, I didn't have any action. I passed on the card yesterday, so I look to get back to it today. So my streak still stays the same, 7 of the last 8 NBA. And MLB, I've been pretty good, 10 of the last 15. So I look to keep it going today. Today, I will have action.
Yeah, the problem is, the Finn gave you the Malakia right there. So you were never going to win that because he just mushed you the entire time. So, but that's all right. We're going to get him back here today. Merrill, where you been, man? What's going on? I love the hair. You obviously, you what is that, a weed whacker? You got something out there. You got that thing under control. What's happening, man? What do you got going on tonight?
Yeah, I found some good product laying around in the bathroom. It's called H2O. It's been working well, and it has about a 1-hour lifespan. 1-hour lifespan, and then boom, it's back. So hopefully we get through this and the NASCAR show, which we're taping right after this, and I'll be good to go for the weekend. Rare miss in baseball last night. However, still hitting 61% on the season in MLB, so I'm going to bounce back strong tonight. To make a 2-for-1 baseball special, I said, hell no, let's make it a 3-for-1 special with NBA and 2 baseball best bets. So 3 best bets tonight, 2 MLB, and a strong NBA over-under best bet, which I like a lot at WagerTalk.com.
All right, love it, guys. And, of course, welcome back, one of the hottest NBA cappers at WagerTalk.com. Kevin Dolan here with us. Brother, welcome in. How's it been going since last week in the association? And what, if anything, do you have going tonight?
Well, it's all good, Joe, but, I'm not sure what you want me to say because you were nearly kicking me off the show last week for bragging too much. So, I better, do you know what I'll do? I'll use a bit of reverse psychology this week. I absolutely suck at NBA right now. I don't have a 70% plus percentage, and I'm most certainly not WagerTalk's #1 cap over the last 30 days. So, yeah, absolutely stink right now. Don't come near me.
Dude, you got carte blanche right there, my friend. Well done. Absolutely well done. All right, guys, listen, it's a great card. We're going to start, of course, like we do with our contrarian game of the day, and I don't get it. I don't understand this line. I don't understand why all the tickets and all the money are heading towards the Miami Heat. It don't make no damn sense to me because the Hawks right now not getting any love. That number opened up at 5. It's now 5.5, but no joke, guys. It's all Miami Heat here as far as the tickets and the money go. But who's in and who's not? I mean, who's playing in this damn game here tonight? That's obviously the big question. And here we go. Who's in? Who's out? For Miami, you've got Tyler Hero, the questionable. Victor Oladipo never plays. I don't even know why they traded for him. But really, the Hawks is the big question, right? So Capella, questionable. We know that Trae Young is out, right? He's out with the ankle. Snell is doubtful. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, we know that. Gallinari and Capella seem to be the two big ones here, but I still don't see anything about, I mean, Bogdanovic's still going here tonight, right? John Collins still going tonight. If Gallinari is an actual go, I really don't get this line here, Ski. So let me start with you. No Trae Young, but really? 5.5 points here? You think there's any value? We're going with the home dog here?
Yeah, I mean, it's that bad that we had to make a chart for it today. So I understand why Miami's getting all the love, and it's hard for me to go the other way and back Atlanta. I'll be honest. The contrarian is evil, though, as Tony Mejia says. So I'll stay away. I like the under in this game. All the guys missing, I think we'll have less points, and we can always trust Miami to play some defense.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, I don't get it, man. Miami was a 1.5 point favorite at San Antonio, to San Antonio, 4.5 to Houston, and now they're on the road and they're a 5.5 point favorite when they've, 6-5 this month against the number? I don't get all the love here. What do you think?
Well, one thing I will say is they're 3-0 straight up and against the number of the last 3 games, including that San Antonio game, which they won by 20 points 2 nights ago. And as I've said for weeks here on the show, at some point the Miami Heat might start playing like the Eastern Conference defending champs that they are. And if that's the case, they could rout Atlanta here. It wouldn't surprise me. The Hawks right now, I'm seeing some other injury reports show 7 guys on the report. Every one of them is listed as out now except Capella. So Gallinari, I'm seeing is out. Trae Young, of course, as you mentioned. So this is going to be like backups ×2 for the Hawks. We know how this has played out this year. Teams usually step up, but we're not talking about 5, 6, 7 guys out. And it's often because the other team overlooks them. And the fact that the Heat need to play catch-up here after a really poor season overall, Miami is still just 3 games above 500 after the 3 wins. So, Miami would be the only way I would play this game. I'm not going to be involved for that reason. Too much uncertainty, but hard to make a case for the contrarian in this one.
It's Miami or not for Steve there, but talk to me here, Kev. The definition of inconsistent has been this Miami team, so it's nice to get on that 3-game run, but how do you feel about laying 5.5 on the road against this Atlanta squad?
No, I can't get behind the line move here, to be honest, either. You know, as Ski said, I get why it's moved. Atlanta do have that heavy injury crisis right now, and, you know, especially with Trae Young out in particular. But still, 5.5 on the road. I mean, I can't lay that. And as Steve says, look, we know backing a team with a star player out is usually a good contrarian play long term, but Atlanta have so many key injuries that's likely going to be offset here. Saying that, if I'm going to take a side in this one, it's going to be the home team.
It's going to go with Atlanta if he's going to go anywhere. So there it is, guys. That is our contrarian game of the day. The Hawks and the Heat tonight getting ready to do battle. We're, of course, going to move on to our first featured game. And there's a couple of really good ones here tonight on tap, including this one. And I mean good from maybe just cash the ticket right now, as the Celtics minus Brown, I believe, minus just about everyone. It does look like who's in and out of this game here right now, because that's also a big question mark on a back-to-back. So Jaylen Brown out. Kemba Walker appears to be out. Robert Williams III out. And then the Nets. So Durant, is he going to go? Is he not going to go? Obviously, that's what a lot of folks are waiting to hear on. But the bottom line is it's 5 points for the Nets at home. And a Celtics team that, they had their hands full last night. It's a lot of games in a short period of time here for the Boston Celtics, Steve. So talk to me here. Do you like them as a home favorite at this number?
Just a big picture takeaway here. I mean, this is not good for the future of the NBA. It's not good for us as handicappers. I mean, this has been a brutal season. Every show we're talking about trying to figure out who's in, who's out. Even if you look at the 5 o'clock Eastern reports, you don't know for sure. And this is a primetime Friday night showcase game between 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. And it's like, it's no big deal that the Celtics are sitting 2 of their top guys. Me on my soapbox right now, I don't like this. I mean, and this is a real problem because I almost feel like it's accepted now. And we're going to see this for years on out. As an NBA handicapper, as an NBA fan, whatever you are, I just think this should bother you. And this is a textbook example of that tonight. Tough call because of Celtics sitting guys. That tells you right away they obviously don't care about winning this game. I mean, that's the first thing. So I don't like to back a team I know that doesn't care about it. And yes, we know teams step up without their key players. They often get overlooked. But once again, this is a spotlight primetime Friday night game against 2 of the better teams in the conference. So I don't think Brooklyn overlooks it. I don't think they let down after losing to Toronto 2 nights ago on the road. and they've played without Durant this year. So I think the Nets have the shorthanded advantage here. Both teams are missing key players, and the fact that the Celtics just, hey, we'll sit these guys against one of the best teams in the league tells me that they're not trying to win tonight.
Yeah, it's tough, which is why, guys, we've gone ahead and we figured we'll start listing these as of we come to you live here in the afternoon. We're trying to make decisions and break games down. And honestly, this is all the information we have at this point. We wait for the 5 o'clock report to come out, but that's why we're listing it, so you guys have a good idea of who's playing and who's not playing, because Kevin, quite honestly, Kevin Durant's going to move the needle. And we don't know as of right now, but even let's say he doesn't go, it's still 5 points for Brooklyn at home here. Do you trust them, even worst case, without Durant, the later 5?
I mean, if I absolutely had to play this game, I probably would take Boston +5. But, for all the points that Steve just mentioned, you can't get it. It's so hard to get involved in sides like this. But I actually like the total in this game, so I'm going to use that as my best bet for the show. So I'll lean very, very slightly into Boston plus the points here. But I'll talk about that total a little bit later.
All right, you were this close to getting a Swiss flag. I'll just tell you that right now. You did bring it back around, though, so I'm impressed there, Kev. Ski, talk to me, man. What do you think here? You got to figure if Durant's a go, this number is going to increase, right? So what is it? If you like Boston, hold off. If you like Brooklyn, how are you going to approach this game tonight?
I don't love laying point. I don't really like it at all. I mean, Brooklyn has a home favorite this year. I think they're 9-14.
Mm-hmm.
So whether Durant plays or not, I'm not really wanting to back Brooklyn in this one. I'll probably be Boston or pass, but I think we can get points. Even with Brown missing and Walker missing, I still think that Tatum will have success. I think that the defense will give up a lot of points, and Brooklyn's not going to play very much defense. So I probably will go over, and if I had to play the side, I like Boston.
All right, like an over. I will say this, though. The total has obviously gone down. It opened somewhere around that 230 mark. I was thinking we're seeing, 226, 225 and a half, somewhere in there. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move along to our next featured game of the night. Another great one on the West Coast, guys. Talk to us. Nuggets taking on the Warriors. This one opens up at 3 points. That one, of course, for the Denver Nuggets, plus, 228 was the open on this one. I'm seeing not a lot of movement in the total, but I am seeing some 2.5s right now for Denver, even a couple of 2s. So some Warrior love coming out. But again, the big question, right? Who's in? Who's out for this game? And right now we know Monte Morris is out for Denver. Damian Lee, Bazemore out, but obviously missing on there, we know, is Steph and, of course, Draymond. So, Kev, I'll start with you here, my man. Talk to me. It opens up with not a lot of love for Golden State at home. Do you still want to get in front of that Steph Curry machine here? What do you think?
Yeah, not particularly. When Jamal Murray went down with that injury in the last game between these two back on April 12th, I put a line through Denver as a potential NBA champions. He's such a key cog in this Nuggets lineup. But so that's in terms of championship. But in terms of this game, to be fair, Denver reeled off 4 straight wins without him now. And looking to get another one here in revenge mode against the Warriors. If I'm playing this, I'm going to look over the total tonight. Nothing complicated about this one at all. We're getting the 2 highest scores in the league right now going head-to-head. And with Denver having plenty of motivation for that revenge spot, which you just mentioned, I think we see 230 plus in this game.
Okay, going towards the total there. I mean, Ski, so when they lost Murray, they also lost Monte Morris because he yanked his hamstrings. He's like, oh, God, I got to play. So now who's going to stop Curry exactly for is it like, who is it? How are you going to approach this game?
Nobody's going to stop him. Last time we just saw these teams play not too long ago, and Steph was saying he can't guard me and dropped like 53 points. So nobody's going to stop Steph. As far as the Denver side, I think Jokic will have a pretty solid day. He's been scoring lately, and not much resistance from the Golden State side. So I agree with what Kevin said. I think we can get up and over the total. Coming home from a long road trip for Golden State, I don't love that, but they play a lot better at home. They've been playing good already lately. One team's been covering, one team is not. I know it's a short spread, but I'll probably back Golden State in this one. Still fighting for playoff life right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, kudos to the Nuggets here, Steve. They managed to go, 4-0, 2-2 against the number since losing Murray, obviously an integral part of that team. But do you trust them on the road in this spot, laying points to Steph Curry and Golden State?
Yes, I definitely trust them. And as Ski said, it's not necessarily a good spot for Golden State returning home off the 5-game Eastern road trip. So if anything, I think that limits home court advantage here. And then we talk about revenge a lot in the NBA, and there's arguments over does revenge work in the pro sports, and in general, it doesn't. College football, we use it. College basketball, we use it a lot. That's probably the one main sport. But the reason it kind of works, in some of John Ryan's angles and other stuff, you'll see revenge. It's not necessarily because the team cares about beating the other team or they're mad, they're angry. It's because the other team overlooks them, like when a star player is out, or they make adjustments the other team doesn't because they won the first meeting. But I think this is one of those rare cases where there really is a revenge motive. I mean, it's not like Golden State went out there and hit him with a hammer, but I mean, one of their star players got hurt playing Golden State a few weeks ago, and they've gone 4-0 since. I think they're going to have this game circled. I think it could be a flat spot for Golden State. And as far as the total, it's hard to argue with the over. I would lean that way as well. But I like Denver the best as far as the side. And the other thing I'll point out, that Washington game, we talked about the total 240. Joe, you and I say how a lot has to go right for it to go over. Well, it only hit 232. The Wizards shot 41.5%. Golden State shot 39.5%. They still totaled 232 points. I mean, that's just insane. So I think this one probably gets over the total as well.
All right, leaning towards the over with that Denver Golden State game, 10:10 Eastern time, guys. There's your opportunity there tonight. We got one more before we get to our best bets, but I do want to remind you guys, all three of them locked and loaded here today. That's Ski, that's Steve Merrill, and that is Kevin Dolan right now at WagerTalk.com. Visit their pages here. Best bets are up. Maybe that now good time for that 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access pass, guys, and never miss a play. Going to be one hell of a profitable weekend here. Make sure you visit them today at WagerTalk.com. All right, the overtime game for us here tonight. What else? Let's talk about, because I'm not sure either of these two teams are going to be able to stop one another. Memphis taking on Portland in this one here. It opened up right around 233, and we've seen it. I've seen 232, 232 and a half, back to 233, back down to 232 and a half. So it's been fluctuating right around that opening number. Ski, I'm going to come back to you here, my man. I mean, that's the million-dollar question here. Do you think either of these two teams are capable of stopping each other here where we could even consider looking at the under?
I had a problem with my headphones there, but the overtime for this game, sorry, Joe, I didn't catch the last part of what you said. Yeah,
it's 233. It opened at 233. It's been hovering 233 most of the day, but is there anything you think we can even look at the under in this game between these two teams?
Well, I heard what you said earlier on, and you said that can we trust either team to play defense? And I don't think so. Over the last 5 games, they're both bottom 10 defensively. And the problem for me would be Portland hasn't been playing very fast. So the pace bothers me there. Memphis, I think, can play fast or slow. They've kind of been middle of the pack lately. But both offenses have been pretty efficient, and the defenses haven't been there. So it would be over or not for me.
Definitely over or not for you. All right, Steve, I mean, what do you think here? It just feels like we watched Memphis melt down. A couple of just hard-nosed losses recently by Portland here. Points tonight, or do you think maybe we might see a little regression and an under is in play?
No, I like the over here. I'll get behind this overtime over. Memphis has gone over a total of 8 of their last 10 games. Portland got Lillard back from their last game. Healthy team should expect I think the score increases here from games out. I think also we get some value with the over in the near-term future with the Blazers for that reason. So no problem backing the over here. I think Portland gets more points than they've been getting. And Memphis has been a pure over team, as you've mentioned. 8 of their last 10 now, as I said, and 4 out of 5. So I like the over here.
All right, going over. How about you, Kev? Talk to us, my man. You see nothing. Are we looking 240 here in reality?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see an over. There's plenty to like about the over here. Memphis, 8th highest pace in the league. Portland ranked 7th in offensive efficiency. But I'm not sure I can quite get there on the full game line. The better play for me in this one is the first quarter points over 57.5 at -105. Portland are the number 1 team this season in first quarter points scored at 31.2. That increases to 31.5 at home. Again, number 1 in the league. Memphis on the other side are tied for the most first quarter points over the last 3 starts as well at 36.3 scored on average. So plenty like here about the over. I just prefer it in the first quarter as opposed to full game.
All right, listen, I love that, and it's got to be said, too, because we've watched Memphis come out just the last game, in fact, against Clippers, came out and just dropping the hammer on them. Both of those teams do this. The first half total, 116 right now, guys, if you're thinking that we get an offensive explosion in the first half there. All right, it's time for our best bets here, guys. Buzzer beater time. 60 seconds on the clock. We'll start, of course, with Ski running point. He going to give us a best bet, if not take a few shots here at Maryland Swiss Miss. So go ahead. Ski, you are up, my man. 60 seconds. Where are you going tonight?
Nah, no shots fired for me. I'll take some shots at myself for being out of whack this week. I'm not having a good week. I'm having a good week betting-wise, but just got to get it together outside of betting. I like what Kevin said about the last game going over, and I like a lot of overs today. But for my best bet, I'll look towards an under. I do like maybe 2 unders on the card today, and one that I'll use for the best bet is going to be, I like the Cavaliers and the Hornets. I feel like the Hornets have just been going under time after time since their lineup has been not a lot of guys in the lineup. I know they missed LaMelo. I'm looking for the lineup here, but it's not a lot of guys in the lineup that I trust to score. You're missing Hayward, missing LaMelo, missing Malik Monk. I know you get Terry Rozier back, but I don't trust either team to score. I know I don't want Cleveland on the road, and both teams have been trending under the last 2 weeks, so I'll go under 211.5.
All right, it's going under, guys, in that Cleveland-Charlotte game here tonight. Steve, you got it. He left the door open. Now you can take all the shots you wanted, Ski. So let him have it, man. You won't see him again until next week. So 60 seconds, man. Where you going, Steve?
Well, first of all, last Friday I saw Ski on John Ryan's Happy Hour show here at 5 o'clock Eastern. So there's a chance I might, but I know Ski's zooming around today, so maybe I'll miss him. But I'll put in a good word for Ski against Tony Finn and Rob Vino on that as well. It's actually a pretty fun show. It's 5 o'clock Eastern. Check my Twitter feed, Steve Merrill, 2 R's, 1 L for details. And also NASCAR Life in the Fast Lane, 6:30 Eastern tonight. We'll see how the hair is doing at that point. It's going to get dicey, but that also here on Wager Talk TV. And then, of course, Joe Ranieri will be back at noon Eastern on Saturday, Sirius XM Channel 204, if you want Joe Ranieri for your weekend delight, because you don't get him again until Monday otherwise. As far as a best bet, a game we did not talk about, just for you, Joe. Just for you, we're going to go with the Houston Rockets, and for Ski also, the hell no Houston Rockets. We're going to look at the over, though. Over 223.5. Even with Rob Vino's money, I wouldn't play the Rockets right now, so we're going to play the total over. These two teams played exactly 2 weeks ago on Friday night. 235 points, went over 220. A lot of injuries on both sides. Playground mentality, over 223.5. Rockets.
Am I the only one that thinks Steve fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag in that 60 seconds right there? I don't even know how you did that. You got 40 seconds worth of promos before you dropped. I don't even know what the hell you dropped. My goodness. Here we go, Kev. We're going to be more props, too. Yeah, I give up. More props. All right, talk to me here, Kev. Come on, man. 60 seconds. I know you're going to lay this out beautifully. So go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, well, this is actually my only play up tonight. It's on the over in the game between Boston and Brooklyn. As for me, even with the player sideline that we know about, this line is sunk way too low right now. I talked about this on a free play write-up I put up on Wednesday over WagerTalk, actually, in the game between Phoenix and Philly, where the Sixers had shot under 40% from the floor in the game prior. And we expected them to bounce back to the over in that spot. Both teams delivered in that one, pushing the total over, by a full 12 points. And we have a similar situation going on here tonight between Boston and Brooklyn. Brooklyn shot just 39.6% from the floor in Wednesday night's loss to Toronto, almost a full 10% down from their season average. And they face a Boston team who, we know their schedule, but they're playing really well right now, averaging 114 points per game over the last 7 starts. But who have also been held to just 102 points per game in their 2 divisional losses this season to Brooklyn. I think we see a much better offensive effort from both teams tonight, and I like this one to go over the total here in Brooklyn later, especially at this new line of 226.
There you go. Wouldn't be the first time that the market completely overreacts to guys taking a seat on the bench, which may be exactly what we are looking like here. One more best bet, of course. Oh, no. Oh, no, I see it on the screen. Oh, God, tell me it's not real. Oh, God, it is. It's here. I thought we were going to be able to skip, but no, it is the John Ryan angle of the day makes its appearance. So we want to thank, of course, John Ryan, and make sure you guys are checking out his podcast that he does daily with the guys here at WagerTalk's. Ski, and of course Merrill. I don't think he likes Kevin, so he never asked him on, but that's all right. Let's see what he likes here. We want to bet on an underdog facing a non-conference foe. And if that's the case, this dog, if they're coming off of 3 consecutive road losses, while the last 10 seasons, 45-72 straight up, 69-45-2 against the number, that's 61%. Merrill loves his subsets. We got a subset alert. Less than 10 points underdog. We are looking at about 500 straight up, but 67%. We're going to bet on the Oklahoma City Thunder plus the points here tonight. I got to hold my nose thinking I'm playing Oklahoma City against Washington, but the number is pretty big, so there might be that's a pretty interesting angle there. We also do, I believe, have our Gold Sheet play of the day because they have been on fire. And look at this. Look at Ski. Look, I love it. Ski and the Gold Sheet on the same page here tonight with the Cavs Hornets under 211.5. And to recap it all on a nice bow, here's what we got tonight, guys. Ski, Cavs Hornets under 211.5, as is our friends from the Gold Sheet. And, of course, don't forget the Gold Sheet write-ups at WagerTalk on Twitter. All the write-ups can be found there on the shows. Merrill is looking over Rockets and Clippers here tonight. Kevin Dolan, he thinks the number's gone way too crazy. Go over 226 with the Celtics Nets. And, of course, our contrarian game of the day, the Miami Heat on the road. The Hawks getting 5.5 at home as a dog. The Hawks would be the contrarian play of the day. Guys, best bets locked and loaded at WagerTalk.com. Ski's ready. You got Merrill ready to go. He's hanging out in the mirror. He did his hair. I mean, come on. You know the guy's got winner written all over him. And, of course, Kevin Dolan managed to get through a show without one Swiss flag. Then we are making improvements here, guys. And no reason for you not to make it a profitable night. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Check these guys out. So, on behalf of Ski, Steve, and Kevin, guys, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure you come back Monday. Join us again as we get to do it all over again in the association with the NBA Tip-Off Show. In the meantime, guys, best of luck with your plays tonight. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Are you tired of games of the year and 100-unit locks? If so, check out the professional handicappers at WagerTalk.com today. We leave all that nonsense for the other guys. And for a limited time, new users get their first daily picks purchase up to $40 for only $1. $1? Whose idea was that? Johnny Detroit? I guess so. To redeem this special, just go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper and their picks package using coupon code TRYWagerTalk when checking out.